It doesn't start with a fall. It starts with hesitation. That second where you stand up and your legs don't quite follow, where the floor feels farther than it used to, where your knees wobble, just enough to make you reach for a chair you didn't used to need. You tell yourself it's just stiffness, just a bad night's sleep, just getting older. But deep down, you know something's changed. The stairs feel taller. The sidewalk feels harder. And the idea of walking without holding on to something, it doesn't feel safe anymore. That's not fear. That's feedback. It's your body telling you that the muscles that used to carry you without question are now waiting for help. Most people respond in one of two ways. They either ignore it or they push too hard, try to train like they used to. Neither one works. Because after 60, your legs don't need punishment. They need precision. You don't need gym machines. You don't need to sweat through pain. You just need small, intentional movements that rebuild strength without injury. In this video, you'll learn 3 pain-free senior-safe exercises that help your legs regain power, stability, and control, even if it's been years since you last felt strong. If your legs have been feeling less dependable lately, don't wait for them to fail. Let's start listening now. Leg weakness doesn't happen all at once. It arrives quietly, slowly, through 100 tiny losses you don't notice until they add up. It starts with something as small as avoiding stairs, holding onto the wall a little more often, sitting down instead of standing just a bit longer. And that's not laziness. That's muscle loss called sarcopenia. And it begins as early as your 50s. After 60, your body naturally starts losing muscle mass, especially in the legs. But it's not just the muscle itself. It's the entire communication loop. Every movement you make depends on signals from your brain to your nerves, from your nerves to your muscles. Stand, balance, step. But as we age, that circuit slows. The nerves send fuzzier signals. The muscles respond more slowly. And if those muscles aren't used, they shrink, they weaken, and eventually they stop showing up when you need them most. It's not because you're broken. It's because your legs haven't been asked to stay strong in a long time. And the truth is, once the legs get quiet, the fear of movement grows louder. You walk less, sit more, and that silence becomes the real danger. But here's the good news. The body still responds. Even now, even gently, because strength isn't about lifting more. It's about sending the right signal again and again until the connection returns. He used to be strong, worked construction, carried lumber up ladders in his 40s. So when his legs started to feel weak in his 70s, he figured he'd just work them harder. He started squatting deep and fast, doing stair repeats, pushing through the burn. Within 2 weeks, he strained a tendon and stopped moving altogether. That story is more common than you think, because when people feel weakness, they either ignore it or try to crush it with intensity. Here are the most common mistakes. Mistake 1, doing what used to work. Old gym routines, weighted squats, high-impact classes. But the body after 60 isn't the body at 30. What used to build strength can now create injury. Mistake 2, avoiding movement completely. I don't want to make it worse. So we sit, we stay cautious. We hope the problem goes away. But in use, muscles shrink fast, and confidence shrinks with them. Mistake 3, only walking. Walking is great for endurance, but it doesn't target the muscle groups that hold you upright, like the glutes, quads, and calves. Without activation, those muscles stay weak. Quietly. Mistake 4, waiting for pain to disappear before starting. The goal isn't to wait for zero pain. The goal is to move in ways that don't create more. That's where the right kind of exercises come in. Not big, not loud, just effective. Because you don't have to push harder. You just have to start smarter. She said she hadn't felt her thighs work in years. Not sore, just missing. Like the muscles had gone quiet. We started with a wall sit. Not deep, not long, just 10 seconds a day. Feet flat, back against the wall. Knees slightly bent. It felt silly at first. But after a week, she said, I stood up on the couch and didn't need to push. Here's why this movement matters. As we age, the quadriceps, those big muscles in front of the thighs, are often the first to weaken. They're responsible for standing, walking, and catching yourself when you trip. But they don't get stronger just from walking. They need direct activation. The wall sit is a safe, joint-friendly way to do that. It activates the quads without putting pressure on your knees or lower back. And because it's isometric, you're holding, not bouncing. It teaches your muscles to engage without chaos. This is a beginner-level move. You can do it near a doorway or a kitchen counter. Anywhere you feel stable. Just hold for 10 to 20 seconds at a time, and try 2 short rounds each day. You'll feel it gently in your thighs, hips, and even in your posture over time. In 2021, a study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that isometric lower body exercises like wall sits significantly improve leg stability and standing endurance in adults over 65, even when performed for just 1 to 2 minutes per day. Can't get to a wall? Try a chair pushback instead. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, press your heels into the floor, and push your back into the chair for 10 seconds. It mimics the same muscle activation. Gently. Try 1 round now. No pain, no sweat, just quiet strength returning. He told me he wasn't afraid of walking. He was afraid of turning, of stepping off a curb, of losing his balance in those little moments that used to feel automatic. We started with 1 slow walk. Not far, just across the hallway. Heel to toe, 1 foot directly in front of the other, like walking on a line. After a few days, he said, I didn't have to think about my feet anymore. They just knew what to do. Here's what that walk is really doing. It reawakens the parts of your brain and body responsible for balance and proprioception, your sense of where your body is in space. It forces each foot to feel the floor, each muscle to respond to tiny shifts. And the slower you go, the more your nerves have time to relearn the path. This simple movement rebuilds leg control, not just strength. You don't need equipment. You don't need speed. Just focus. Start by choosing a hallway or flat surface with something nearby to hold on to, like a counter or handrail. Place your right foot in front of your left, heel touching toe, then step slowly forward. Take 5 to 10 slow, steady steps. Repeat once a day. In 2019, a study in the Gait and Posture Journal found that heel-to-toe walking improved balance confidence and reduced fall risk in older adults within just 2 weeks of practice. If heel-to-toe feels too wobbly, start with side steps along a wall, 1 hand resting gently for support. It still trains foot control and core stability, just from a different angle. Each careful step is a reminder. Strength isn't just in the muscle, it's in the message. She said the hardest part wasn't walking. It was standing up, from the couch, from the toilet, from bed in the morning. So we practiced just that. No weights, no timers, just standing up slowly from a chair. Within a week, she could do it without holding on. 2 weeks later, she wasn't afraid of stairs anymore. The sit-to-stand movement seems simple, but it's one of the most powerful full-body resets you can do. It activates your thighs, glutes, calves, and core, the exact muscles that protect you from falls. And it trains coordination, because standing up isn't just strength. It's balance, momentum, and timing all working together. When you repeat this motion with control, you retrain the entire lower body chain, from brain to heel. Here's how to start. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat and knees over your ankles. Cross your arms over your chest, or hold them forward. Lean slightly forward, press into your heels, and rise slowly. Then sit back down with control. Try 5 reps, once or twice a day. Each time, focus on smoothness, not speed. A 2020 review in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy confirmed that repeated sit-to-stand exercises significantly improve lower body strength, walking speed, and fall prevention in adults over 65. If standing feels unsafe, start with a quarter lift. Lean forward and unweight your bottom for 2 to 3 seconds, then relax. It activates the same muscles with less strain. This is the movement that says, I'm still here, and I still rise. And now that you've practiced the how, let's take a deeper look at why this works so well even when it feels so small. Why do simple movements, like standing from a chair or walking heel to toe, make such a big difference? It comes down to how your nervous system works after 60. Every movement starts as a message from brain through nerves into muscle, but with age, that message line gets fuzzy, like an old radio with a bit of static. The signal isn't lost. It's just weak. And if muscles haven't been used in a while, they stop listening as clearly. What you're doing with these movements isn't just exercise. You're reactivating that entire message loop. Each time you stand slowly from a chair, you're rebuilding coordination. Each step heel to toe retrains your balance circuits. Each second you hold against the wall tells your brain, this muscle still matters. Keep the connection alive. Think of it like rewiring an old lamp. It doesn't need more electricity. It just needs the wires cleaned and reconnected. That's what movement does. And when the signal gets stronger, so does the muscle. Without pain, without pounding, without fear. This is why just walk more isn't always enough. You're not trying to go farther. You're trying to move with more control so that every step builds confidence instead of costing it. Because strength after 60 isn't about intensity. It's about communication. And now that you've reawakened that connection, let's talk about how to keep it, based on who you are and what you need. If your legs feel weak, don't wait until they feel strong to begin, because strength doesn't arrive all at once. It returns rhythm by rhythm. If you're doing this for yourself, start by picking just one of the movements we covered. One wall sit, one slow walk, one stand up from the chair. Don't rush. Track when your legs feel most unsure during the day, and try your movement just before that time. You're not training like an athlete. You're rebuilding like an architect. If you're supporting someone else, maybe a parent or spouse, choose one move and do it with them. Make it light. No pressure. Just presence. Even one good rep is enough to build confidence. If you're living with a chronic condition like arthritis, diabetes, or post-surgery recovery, focus on a version that feels safest for you. Quarter lifts, chair pushbacks, side steps. Use the wall. Use your breath. Ask your doctor if you're unsure. But don't wait for everything to be perfect before you begin, because strength isn't built through effort alone. It's built through repetition, through quiet signals, sent again and again, until the body remembers how to answer. Stronger rhythm leads to steadier motion. That's the refrain. Not hustle, not force, just rhythm. And if this rhythm has helped you, even just a little, consider sharing it with someone whose legs are whispering the same quiet request. Most weak legs don't mean danger. They mean pause. They mean let's pay closer attention. But sometimes weakness speaks a little louder, and it's worth listening differently. If you find yourself needing to grab furniture often just to get around, or if your legs shake even when you're standing still, it's time to check in. If one leg feels different than the other, colder, tighter, or unsteady, that's more than just fatigue. It might involve circulation or nerve issues. Also notice if your legs feel numb, or if there's burning pain that lingers long after sitting or walking, especially if you've had falls or near falls in the past few weeks. And if you've started a new medication, like a statin or blood pressure pill, and your legs change soon after, talk to your provider. Side effects can sneak in quietly. None of this means panic. It just means partnership between you and your care team, because cramps, weakness, or imbalance are rarely emergencies, but they're always messages. And responding early isn't overreacting. It's wisdom. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace personalized medical advice. If you're experiencing persistent weakness, balance issues, or unusual leg sensations, consult a licensed healthcare professional. Your legs haven't failed you. They're still trying. And the fact that you've shown up for them today matters more than you know. Let's take a moment to review gently. If your legs have been feeling weaker lately, you're not imagining it. And it's not just aging. It's muscle loss. It's nerve miscommunication. It's the body going quiet when it's actually asking to be re-engaged. But you don't need to push. You don't need to power through. You need small, steady movements that restore strength from the inside out. We talked about 3 of them today. Wall sit reset, to wake up the thighs that help you rise. Heel to toe walk, to retrain balance and step confidence. Sit to stand rebuild, to strengthen your full chain of motion. None require equipment. None take more than 2 minutes a day. And all 3 work together to tell your nervous system, we're still connected. Let's move again. Try just one of them today. Track how your legs feel before and after. There's a simple printable PDF tracker, link below, to help you log progress over time. And let us know in the comments. Have you felt leg weakness this year? Comment 1 if yes, 0 if not yet. Your comment might help someone else feel less alone. Next up, we'll explore 5 vitamins that help rebuild muscle mass after 60, especially if you want your legs to not only support you, but carry you further. Until then, move gently, stand tall, and remember, stronger rhythm leads to steadier motion.